Natalie is a sophisticated escort who leads a meticulously managed existence. On one occasion, she's at a client's hotel after he concludes a work call. The client, an unusual individual, strolls around in a sizable adult diaper, highlighting the bizarre scenarios Natalie faces in her profession. Once her task is done, she exits the room. During her taxi ride, she takes off her wig and looks out at the lively city, pondering over the choices she's made in life. At the same time, Mitch is introduced as a journalist whose professional life is in turmoil, and his personal life is equally chaotic. Mitch skips on deep connections and opts for short-lived relationships via a dating app, valuing the simplicity and distance it brings. One night, Mitch's life takes an unforeseen twist when he bumps into Natalie at a bar. She proposes her escort services for $3,000 a night, but Mitch, not used to paying for companionship, responds with hostility. He mocks her, suggesting she should look for another job. To his astonishment, Natalie remains composed and discloses her alma mater is a renowned university, which shakes Mitch's initial beliefs and leaves him somewhat taken aback. Mitch's world starts falling apart when his employer chooses to let him go due to the company's downsizing. Unlike some of his coworkers, Mitch doesn't have any negative associations with his boss, which ultimately seals his destiny. This setback to his career plunges him into a deep depression, stripping away any remaining self-assurance he possessed. After months of sinking into despair and feeling sorry for himself, Mitch decides to look for a new job, but he's faced with one rejection after another. Each time he applies to a newspaper, he's either turned away without a second thought or offered positions that don't pay, which only intensifies his hopelessness. Even a fashion magazine, where he had hoped to start anew, rejects him, considering him unprofessional and out of touch. In a state of desperation, and fueled by the dream of working for a high-profile magazine, Mitch remembers his meeting with the smart and appealing Natalie. He locates her at a bar, but his odd behavior sets off red flags. When Mitch finally has the chance to present his concept to Natalie, he suggests she should be the focus of a detailed article. At first, Natalie is hesitant. She's always been protective of her private life and isn't keen on sharing it with anyone, particularly not in a manner that might compromise her privacy or her career. Yet, after thinking about the possible advantages, she changes her mind and agrees to assist Mitch, but with one caveat: he needs to accompany her everywhere, allowing him to truly experience her daily life. Their deal is set in motion, and Mitch is quickly taken aback to learn that Natalie also teaches math to at-risk youth, a role that's very different from the escort Mitch had envisioned. This discovery changes Mitch's view of her, revealing that Natalie is more than just her job. As they spend additional time together, Mitch gets to know Natalie's closest friend, who initially brought her into the world of escorting. As time passes, Mitch and Natalie form a deep connection. Their friendship intensifies as they exchange stories and thoughts about their personal lives. Mitch discovers a method she believes is essential for increasing her earnings. Even with the difficulties she faces at work, Natalie stays calm and concentrated on achieving her objectives. One night, their relationship changes dramatically when Mitch has to intervene to defend Natalie from unwelcome advances by some individuals at a bar. In the heat of the moment, Natalie realizes that Mitch has been acting as her protector, defending her from troublesome customers. This discovery puts a strain on their relationship, as Natalie starts to doubt Mitch's intentions, observing that he often receives and sends text messages to someone. Intrigued and slightly anxious, she decides to tail him, eventually uncovering that Mitch is using a fast-paced dating app to meet women for brief encounters. This discovery leaves Natalie feeling let down as she realizes Mitch is dealing with personal challenges related to his own life and relationships. Despite their increasing conflict, Mitch convinces Natalie to act as if they are in a relationship during a visit to his family. Mitch is eager to change the public's view of him as someone obsessed with casual relationships, and he believes that making Natalie his girlfriend will give the appearance of a stable life. The following day, they head to Mitch's family's rural estate, where it's evident that Mitch's dad, Charles, is a rich individual with a background in athletics. Charles is currently dedicated to looking after Mitch's younger sister, Emily, and both of them are smitten with Natalie, oblivious to her job as a prostitute. During their visit, Mitch attempts to seek financial assistance from his dad, but Charles turns him down. Little does Mitch know, Natalie catches their conversation and learns about Mitch's money problems. Afterward, as they leave to drop Emily off at her pal's place, Mitch and Natalie spend some time together, during which Natalie shares bits about her past. She tells him about her promising future thanks to her excellent education, yet her desire to hang out with guys and a scandal involving a list of her partners that was leaked by jealous peers ruined her life. That night, Mitch and Natalie pick up Emily, who's been the victim of bullying by her friends. In an effort to protect Emily, Natalie accidentally upsets the wrong crowd, resulting in a tense situation that forces her to quickly back away. Later, as they prepare for bed, Mitch and Natalie share a vulnerable moment, and their connection grows stronger. The following day, Natalie takes Mitch back to his place and, knowing about his financial issues, gives him some money under the table. As Mitch wrestles with his escalating feelings for Natalie, he comes to the realization that his typical methods of handling relationships are no longer fulfilling. He has developed deep feelings for Natalie and desires something more substantial. In an effort to demonstrate his dedication, Mitch makes an effort to find her at a clinic where she's receiving a medical examination, showing his resolve to be by her side. However, their relationship encounters additional obstacles. Mitch's closest confidant voices his disapproval, criticizing Mitch's romantic involvement with someone like Natalie. Despite the opposition, Mitch persists in his pursuit of Natalie, even as his envy towards her professional success grows. He finds it difficult to accept that Natalie is still seeing other patients, which puts a strain on their developing relationship. Not long after, Mitch's friends and family step in, organizing a small intervention to suggest that he seek therapy for his reliance on short-term relationships. Mitch, however, is not prepared to confront his problems directly. When Mitch witnesses a particularly disrespectful client, he loses his temper and physically attacks the client. This violent reaction deeply hurts Natalie, leading to a heated argument that reveals the emotional scars they both carry. They come to a difficult understanding that they are both using their actions as a way to avoid dealing with their emotional pain. After this event, Mitch and Natalie start to drift apart. Natalie keeps working, handling her clients with the same level of professionalism as always, while Mitch falls deeper into sadness. Mitch can't let go of Natalie. He finds her at a dating place, breaking up a session with a married client to talk to her by herself. In a sincere confession, Mitch tells Natalie about his feelings for her, but she's too wounded and torn to reply. Feeling rejected, Mitch walks away, thinking their relationship is finished. A few months down the line, Mitch releases his article about Natalie, which grabs the attention of readers and becomes a top hit in the glossy magazine world. At the same time, Natalie lands a decent job where her qualifications and abilities are appreciated more than her history. The boss of the company is understanding of Natalie's past, particularly because her own daughter has dealt with cyberbullying, making her more empathetic towards those who have been wrongly judged by others. Mitch, who has been through therapy to deal with his early life issues and addictions, makes peace with his father, seeing their common imperfections. He accepts the idea that he must pursue his own joy instead of avoiding it. Not long after this acceptance, Mitch runs into Natalie once more. After reading his piece, Natalie is touched by Mitch's openness and sincerity. She admits her feelings for him, but uncertain about his reaction, she starts to walk away. But Mitch stops her, realizing he can't let her leave, showing his readiness to commit to a relationship with her, despite the difficulties and obstacles they might encounter. Towards the movie's end, Mitch and Natalie choose to begin a new journey together. And so, the movie concludes.